Hi, this is Michael Durkee, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Export for Screens function in Illustrator to export different sizes of your logo or graphic. So right off the bat, I have three artboards here that have different versions of the same logo. I have one in color, one in black and white, or in this case black, and then one you can't see, but it's in white. What I like to do is save each of these artboards out in their respective formats. So I'm thinking, let's say PNG, JPEG, PDF, and SVG. Ultimately, I want to be able to give my clients a collection of files that they can use across different formats for different applications. So once I have my logo or my graphic in the artboard in the way that I'd like it exported, so you can see here that I've given a little bit of white space to my logos, I'm going to go into File, Export, and then Export for Screens. So I'll explain here how the dialog box here works. So first you have your artboards here. You can see that I've selected each one here. These are all the artboards and they're all selected, so each one of them will be exported in each of these formats I select. You can see that they have names here as well. These will apply to the file name. So the way that this all works is you have a prefix, the name, and then the suffix. So this logo is Swipits, so I'm going to say Swipits is the prefix. And so you can imagine that these will all combine in the file name. So I'm going to say swipits underscore, just to give myself a little more legibility. And I'll do the same things over here. So swipits underscore, then it's going to append original to it, and I'll say original underscore, black underscore, and white underscore. And the last part of that will be the suffix, which are the different file formats. So I'll go ahead and delete these so I can start off new. So when I say add scale, that's going to add a different file format with a different scale. And looking here, you have 1x through 4x, then 1.5, 0.5, and then different resolutions and heights and weights, or widths. I'd start off with 1x. 1x is essentially referring to the same size as your artboard on Illustrator. So if you created a artboard with pixel dimensions, it's going to export that as those pixel dimensions. And so let's say I'll start off with a PNG, and then I'll add scale. And because it's 1x, it's not going to add a suffix. If I click Add Scale and change it to 2x, you can see that it's going to add at 2x. The way I like my files, I don't prefer it with an at symbol, so I'm going to remove that. And I'll do this again for 3x. Remove the at symbol. And then 4x. So I have my PNGs covered. I'm going to do this same exercise with JPEGs. And just a word of a quick tip. JPEG 100, JPEG 80, JPEG 50, that's referring to the quality level. And you know if you've ever used the Save for Web function in Illustrator or in Photoshop, that's the different quality level and how much JPEG artifacting you get when you save it off. So I'd recommend using either JPEG 100 or JPEG 80. In this case, I'll use JPEG 80. And so I'll have this at 1x. And I like the suffixes that are used on PNGs as well, so I'm going to say 1x as well. Add scale, 2x, JPEG 80, 2x, and so on and so forth. So I'll go ahead and skip to the end here and add two more scales. I'll say SVG, which is the scalable vector graphics version, and then the PDF. And so the final thing you want to double check here is, do you have all the artboards selected that you want to save? In this case, I want all of them. And then export to. So I want to make sure this is saving to the right place. And say, if I go onto my desktop and say Swipits logo files, they'll be saving in that location. This checkbox will open them after export. And then this checkbox, if you're already working within a parent folder, will create a folder based on the prefix name. So now that I have all these settings correct, it's going to save off each version of these artboards as each version of these formats with the suffix, prefix, and name. So let's click Export Artboard. And just like that, you've created every file format you might need and as far as your client and all future projects. You can give this all to them in one nice little zip format at the end of your project. So thanks for watching.